Troy, before you head home for the holidays or even simply across town, it's important to set some boundaries. In fact, it's actually crucial for your well-being and mental health, which we've been working on all year long. Life Coach Julianna Lyddon joining me now with some certain strategies. So I love number one on the list, a little bit of clarification. Get clear.
Get clear. Find out what the boundary is. You would be surprised. So many people have a lot of issues and they can't quite identify when they need a boundary. And I say, when you are having this experience, a pattern over and over again, where you leave that situation and you feel worse about yourself, where you feel disempowered, maybe bullied or taken advantage of, you need a boundary.
Okay. And then once you've established that and you've kind of pinpointed it, you then need to share that. So please elaborate on how you vocalize that to some of the people that maybe, stir up those feelings inside of you.
I tell you, it's so difficult. I spend most of my time helping people language it. So you've got to get clear, figure out what it is. I say write it down. Like create a script. I do. We do it in my office. They go over it, figure out who you're going to say it to. But, let people know, hey, you know what? This is hurting my feelings. And I recommend doing it when it's happening.
Okay, because I was going to say, so once you've then presented it, no matter how many times you've maybe read through that script, what happens when there's a little bit of pushback from, that person that you kind of have conflict with?
Because you're going to get that. Because when you've done this for a long period of time and there's a history of it, people are used to taking advantage. They're used to getting away with it. So when you start to push back and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to pay attention to how I feel, and this isn't feeling good or it's not fair. When they push back, you're just going to have to continue to kind of reiterate it and say, I need you to hear me.
Another tip that we had talked about prior to our segment was protecting your energy and kind of fostering the vibes that you're then bringing into a situation.
Yes, it's so important. This is when you have to practice saying no. We often take on so much. It can be so difficult. It's got to be more the me, myself, and I. I need to take a break. I need to have that self-care. So when you do that, you're filling yourself up. It's much easier to give more of yourself.
When we're approaching a family dinner or getting ready to travel to enjoy the time, how would you suggest people identify those triggers? And, if you don't smoke and can't take a smoke break, what should you maybe do if you need that 3 seconds of a breather?
Because we all do need it. And I tell you, this time of year, I get the call, hey, in 2 days, I can feel that this trigger's coming on.
Like not good butterflies.
It's a post-traumatic thing often, and trauma is real. So when you start feeling it, or you need to anticipate it, because the holidays are very bad, start to take more care of yourself. Let others know, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a couple of days off. Spend it just kind of relaxing and getting yourself in a new headspace, because it helps a lot. It's physiological. It can really affect you.
Exactly. And then one thing that wasn't necessarily on the list, but that I was curious about, can you go too far with your boundaries and then start removing yourselves from situations you'd otherwise be a part of, and then you're missing out because you only have conflict with maybe one person?
You really can. You really can. And what happens is you need to create a balance, because otherwise you get too entrenched and too extreme. Maybe you reach out, say if it's a family situation, to somebody in the family and say, hey, look, this is really a problem for me. I don't want to experience it anymore. Maybe you can help me through it. Maybe you got my back.
Yeah, you got an ally within your own, crew.
Yes.
Okay.
So do that and reach out, because that can help, and it can help kind of balance it and make you move through it more effectively.
And I like the big takeaway, I think, is being able to say no, that there is too much of a good thing, and you don't have to spread yourself so thin, because that can create, maybe anxiety that didn't exist with a particular
So true. Great takeaway for us all to remember.
Yeah, well, it all comes from your notes. It's great. Oh my gosh. We got you on speed dial this time of year. Julianna, thank you so much. Troy, we'll send it back over to you.
All right.